Welcome to Lenworth the Lonestars Country Radio Review. Southern songstress and Atlanta native Chloe Bailey is back with her third solo project, Resurrection, and it seems fans are pleased with her new music. On this mixtape, Chloe teamed up with the music producing legend Timbaland for a very purposeful ode to late 90s and millennial hip hop and R&B music, which likely inspired Chloe since she was a kid. And according to popular music blogs, her new music is becoming a quick success on streaming platforms. According to some online publications, Resurrection is already topping the iTunes charts, hitting number 2 on the iTunes R&B charts and number 3 on the overall genre iTunes charts. Now, this is allegedly because I haven't yet seen these stats on more reputable news websites just yet, but this wouldn't surprise me because of the mostly positive reviews I've heard so far. The mixtape Resurrection was also released on June 19th, or Juneteenth, a Black American holiday that marks the day Black American enslaved people were informed of their emancipation in 1865. So choosing an important African American holiday to tribute her own musical resurrection makes total sense. Though this is Chloe's third solo project, she and Timbaland are calling this a mixtape, though I'm not sure what this difference is between a mixtape and a solo album. I definitely think her solo projects are progressively getting better. Her last solo album, Trouble in Paradise, in my opinion, was much more thematically and sonically cohesive than her first project, In Pieces. But her first album got way more attention. But now I think Chloe's back on track with this project, Resurrection. I think both this mixtape's production and overall vibe are much more cohesive, and I also think the songwriting is more compelling than her last projects. Now, no shade, I've always wanted Chloe to be in a more soul and alternative R&B space with her music, similarly to early Janelle Monáe and British acts like Olivia Dean and Ray. But apparently, we aren't listening to Chloe because she wants to be firmly placed in the hip-hop and R&B music space. Even her latest hairstyle, which she is rocking on the Resurrection cover, is clearly late 90s hip-hop and R&B inspired, reminding me of the queen of hip-hop and soul herself, Mary J. Blige. I love that Chloe is rocking a hairstyle and costume silhouette that is separate from label leader Queen Bee. The further away from Beyonce comparisons Chloe can get, the better. Resurrection starts off with the lead single, Talkin' Dirty, which easily is one of the most 90s millennial-coded songs on the project, and it sets the tone nicely for the whole album. It's ironic that Chloe's lead single is a song called Talkin' Dirty, considering that when Chloe went solo, one of her biggest critiques is that people hated that she was embracing sensual content in her lyrics. So it looks like she's doubling down on her liberty to speak her mind. A lot of discussion online has been had about this mixtape's similarities to Aaliyah, obviously because Timbaland worked with Aaliyah to make legendary hits, and Talkin' Dirty definitely reminds me of an Aaliyah production. But the vocal delivery is totally Chloe. This song is full of extended runs, complicated melodies, and a fast rap singing that is much more of a modern singing style. Though the first few tracks on this album are definitely good, my favorites on Resurrection are captivating songs like World on Fire, Mama's Boy, and the mixtape's last track, Jittery. World on Fire is the dramatic mid-tempo song that has that unique vocal delivery that I appreciate from Chloe, especially when she holds that dramatic note at the end of every phrase. World on Fire is a timely love song about feeling unsafe in a world going through so much turmoil, but finding peace and security in your lover's arms. This is the type of song I love hearing from Chloe because it's something so many of us can identify with, especially if you're seeing trouble in current events like so many of us are experiencing. Priorities is a strong track about Chloe doubling down on her boundaries, and I especially love the catchy second half of the verse. If you think that I'm gonna break, you don't understand me. Better Than She Can is another one of my favorites on this project. The danceable production immediately captured me, and Chloe's fast spitting lyrics and the hook are incredibly catchy. This is one of Chloe's most catchy songs she's ever given us, and something about this song reminded me of a modern disco track. This definitely needs to be a song Chloe pushes from this project. The gays will eat this song right up. On Your Own is the song for straight up R&B fans. Chloe doesn't usually do classic sounding R&B, but I think On Your Own is just that. Another song perfectly made for R&B radio. Main Attraction definitely sent me back to the early millennium with its production style. This song sounds like a black rom-com soundtrack song from 2004, and I mean that in the best way possible. One of my most favorite tracks from this album is Mama's Boy. The hook is catchy, and though a lot of Chloe's previous songs had this same message of calling out F-boys, this song's lyrics and melodies feel so much more fluid and less forced than her other breakup tracks like Boy Bye, Cheat Back, or Pray It Away. Mama's Boy's melody, lyrics, and production feel so much more relatable, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a bunch of covers of this song on social media soon. Belong to You is another absolutely gorgeous song where Chloe explores the softer side of her vocals and her personality. The softness in the chorus and lyrics makes this a mid-tempo love song with a great beat, one of the best, truest standouts of the project. Some of the best songs are simple and more relatable, and if Aaliyah was inspiration for this mixtape, this song, especially its soft chorus, remind me the most of Aaliyah, more so than any of these songs on this album. And that's definitely a compliment. Now, I'm no producer, but I think Belong to You is much more of a predictable last song for the album. But the last song is actually jittery, one of my favorites on Resurrection. Another millennial-coded hip-hop and R&B track entitled Jittery, Chloe takes accountability for the ending of the relationship, and the catchy melody on the hook and the production is another great combo. All in all, this was a great collaboration for Chloe and Timbaland, and according to most of the reviews I've watched online, the general public seems to be enjoying the mixtape. A lot of people have tried to count Chloe out because of their expectations of where they think her solo career should be. Yet it's clear to me most people are overly critical of many of the pop and R&B stars of this generation. In the past couple years, Timbaland caught flack for trying to work with AI artists, but maybe this is a positive sign that he should be working with the young and up-and-coming R&B stars who are in similar places in their career. I'd love to see Timbaland lend assists to Normani, Coco Jones, and Victoria Monet, because they, like Chloe, are primed to give us more pop and R&B bangers like we just got on Resurrection. Hopefully, this is the beginning of a pop and R&B renaissance for the younger R&B women in music, and I'm excited to see how far this mixtape, Resurrection, takes Chloe in the coming year.